Alright everybody, it's Kawasaki time for the little KLF 185. We're going to look into the starter system, the button to the solenoid to the starter motor, and also my throttle cable. Just some real quick stuff. Alright, so for starters, let me show you my throttle cable. Alright, I've just got it hanging on a thing here in the garage. I took it all the way off the machine and it was just hanging up. So what I did is I took some WD-40 and I got it hanging up so the WD-40 can run down through it, and I squirted it right inside this hole here where the cable goes into the housing, and I just kept squirting that and working it in and out until I started running out the other end, displacing any water, crud, kinks, whatever. And now I'm going to chase it with some lubricant, and while that's running through and dripping out, we're going to look into the electrical system on that starter system. You can see I've already taken the plastics and the seat off to get access to everything, and we're going to start with just the simple basics. Mine is not working right now either, so I have to do this anyway. And I'll show you what I mean. When I turn the key on, I can hear the fuel pump clicking, but when I hit the starter button, nothing happens. Okay? Which is puzzling because I don't know why it's doing that. So, we're going to start by chasing it down and seeing what's going on. I know I have power in the battery. May be kind of bright. I'm going to start over here at the starter relay. Right there. Now there's a brown wire and a black wire that goes into this. The brown one is where you get power from your system, and the black one is the ground that goes to your starter button. So I'm hooking my multi-tester, setting it to check 12 volts. Let's see if I can set it over here and get it in frame too. It's set to check 12 volts. And I'm going to turn the key on. I got power. Okay? So now, I'm going to set it to check continuity and check the black one, which when I push that starter button, it should peg on over. And it does. Even with the key off, mind you. Okay? Which that's, if you get that, you're groovy. Everything in your system's working. Your switch is working. Your relay is working. Now my relay, I don't know if you can see that. I got it zoomed in there. So tight. Oh, I think my starter solenoid's gone bad. Anyway, my starter relay, I'm going to back out just a little bit to make sure you can see with this, was defective. And I've got it all taped up. But what I did is I just took from the black wires that come out of that plug-in and looped them back around to each other. There's a green wire that comes out of here in the harness, and that feeds all the way back to your indicator lights up on the dash. I don't know why they do it like that, but they do. Anyway, by looping that black wire out of the black and back into the black, all that does is eliminates the need for a starter relay. And I knew mine wasn't good because it wouldn't work. When I hit the button, you should hear it click, click, click. And it wasn't doing that. So I'm plugging this back in. To my starter solenoid. I heard it click as I plugged it in. Turn the key on, and nothing. So, mysteriously, my starter solenoid's gone bad. And instead of trying to find a stock one online, I may look and see if I can find one. I'll probably just go down to the auto parts store and buy one and hardwire it in there. But yeah, pretty simple system, really. Anyway, that's what's up. I hope that helps you. And good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. Maybe I wasn't thorough enough. Now, I don't know why mine went bad, but it sure did. Anyway. Kinda. Yep, that starter solenoid is dead on me. So, I can jump start it like that, but that's no good. So I went down to my local hardware auto parts store and I bought a small motors starter solenoid. And it's got 2 posts for your battery cables and 2 posts for your external terminals. So we're going to take it out of the box package, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do first. Is check it just to make sure that it's going to work the way I want it to work. So I've got it sitting on this little plastic box. Try to get everything square with the world here for you. Alright. Can you see that meter? That's my continuity. And I want to make sure that when I touch the ground plate, I don't get continuity anywhere. Because I don't want that to touch something and then make it activate. So when I touch these 2 together, I do get continuity, and that's what I want, because I'm going to have the power on one and the ground on the other, which goes to the starter button. So after testing all these different variables, I see that the only place I'm getting continuity is through these 2 terminals right here. When I get power into one and ground the other, it's going to actuate inside, making these 2 have continuity. So that's going to work for me. $10. Now I just got to figure out a way to make it work on the machine. So I've got 2 spade connectors. I don't have 2 alike, but I do have 2 that'll slip onto these tabs. And I can hook wires into them. And I've got some of these biters that you don't have to cut your existing wires. You just attach these to the existing wire with a new pigtail hanging out of it also. You squeeze it together with pliers, lock it shut, and you're good to go. So I'm going to pull the machine around here and do that and figure out a way to set it in there, because it's a little bit bigger than the other one and a little bit heavier, but I'm going to make it work. I took the stock one out, and using the existing rubber boot, slipped that around the new one and slipped it back onto the little holder, attached my 2 main battery cables. Now all I have to do is wire in the leads that come off the plug-in into the spade connectors, and it'll be done. Okay, I cut myself 2 little lengths of wire. Here's one of them. Strip the end off. Put my little spade connector on there. Crimp it down. Do the same thing to the other one. And then hook on the other ends. Okay, so there's one of these. What happens is you slide this over your existing wire. You can see how this all the way through on one and the other side's blocked off. You push your new pigtail in to the one that's blocked off, and you hold them secure while you pinch this with a pair of pliers, and it goes down and slices through the insulation, contacts the metal, and joins the two. That way you don't have to cut your existing pigtails in case you ever want to go back to, for say, a stock unit. So I've got my pigtail in there, hooking onto my power source. Gonna open it up a little bit. That pigtail's way longer than I need it to be, but I'm gonna leave it like that. Squeeze that down in there, fold this over and lock it, and that one's done. Same thing to the other one. Fold it over, lock it. There you go. Now just plug them in. It shouldn't matter which one plugs into which. As long as that current gets made, it should work. Get all my tools gathered up and get the keys for this rascal. We'll give her a go. Okay, I moved the camera back just so you can see this thing in action. Alright. That's that. That's how we do that. Alright. You got any questions or anything? Comments? Put the comments down below. Subscribe up above. Let me know what you think. Hope that helps. See ya. Get out of the way. Stop.
you, no lie. They take it all and they say goodbye. Well, they don't care about the poor. Out of sight, out of mind, so easy to ignore. You know they're lying with their eyes.